Hi, and welcome to another Pasha Travels video. In this video, we want to show you some of the must-see Ottoman sites, monuments, and landmarks you should visit on your next trip. Some of them are well-known places, while others may sometimes be overlooked or missed. Let's get started. Fatih Mosque. Commissioned by and named after the conqueror of Constantinople, Fatih Mehmed II, it was built in the 1460s, just a few years following the conquest of Constantinople. The original campus was large and included 8 schools, a library, a hospital, a dervish lodge, an inn, a market, and a public kitchen to feed the poor. It was rebuilt multiple times over the years following significant damages from earthquakes. The mosque serves as the burial place of Sultan Mehmed II and his family. It is also the burial place of the famous late Ottoman-era general Gazi Osman Pasha. Although a popular site, the mosque may sometimes be overlooked in favor of its more famous neighbor nearby, Süleymaniye Mosque, but this is definitely worth a visit as well. Yeni Cami and Hünkar Kasrı. After 6 years of restoration work starting in 2016, Yeni Cami finally reopened to the public at the beginning of 2023. Originally named the Valide Sultan Mosque, it was later renamed Yeni Valide Sultan following reconstruction years later. Yeni in Turkish means new, and over time, the name of the mosque was shortened to Yeni Cami, or New Mosque. One of many mosques in Istanbul commissioned by women, this one was ordered by Sofya Sultan, mother of Sultan Mehmed III. Like Fatih and many other Ottoman mosques, this mosque also served as the center of a campus containing a hospital, a primary school, and a mausoleum of members of the Ottoman royal family. The mosque is quite large and has a beautiful and unique, bright interior with great detail in the domes and walls. Connected to Yeni Mosque via a walkway is a private chamber of the sultans. Here, sultans would retreat after prayer at the mosque. Here, the sultan would entertain guests for meetings and late-night worship. It also contained living quarters for the sultan. Previously, it was only open once a month. However, earlier this year, following restoration efforts, it is now open most days of the week and open to all visitors. I highly recommend visiting this secret gem. The surrounding area is also quite historic, as it is adjacent to the historic Egyptian bazaar, as well as historical building that previously housed Ottoman banks and the post office. Üsküdar Neighborhood. This neighborhood often gets passed up for areas like Fatih and Beşiktaş, to name a couple. But this is actually one of the nicer and more authentically Ottoman neighborhoods in all of Istanbul. With far fewer tourists and numerous Ottoman landmarks, Üsküdar is the perfect place to spend a few days. Üsküdar has many classical Ottoman-era mosques, most of which were commissioned by the women of the Ottoman royal family, including Atik Valide Mosque, Mihrimah Sultan Mosque, and Yeni Valide Sultan Mosque. With a beautiful corniche, you get an amazing view of the European side, catching everything from the Hagia Sofia to the Dolmabahce Palace. Immediately on the corniche is the tiny yet alluring Şemsi Ahmet Pasha Mosque. Not far from there, you will see both the Yeni Valide and Mihrimah Sultan mosques right across the street from each other. During prayer time, you can hear them calling the prayer together in a harmonious duet. Up the hill, you can visit the Aziz Mahmud Hudayi Sufi Lodge and prayer area. Aziz Mahmud Hudayi was an Ottoman-era scholar of Islam, believed to be descended from the lineage of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He was born, raised, and died in Üsküdar and held the highest religious authority in the Ottoman Empire during his time. Many people visit today to pay respects. In addition to its rich religious history, Üsküdar is a great area for Ottoman-style food and cute coffee shops. In Üsküdar, you will find yourself stumbling upon intricately designed coffee shops in Ottoman style, playing Ottoman music, and serving traditionally Ottoman drinks. Deeper into Üsküdar, you can visit other, more recently built mosques. One such mosque is Çamlıca, the largest mosque in Turkey, completed in 2019, with a capacity for over 60,000 people. I would recommend spending a few hours there, as the area also contains an interactive Islamic history museum, cafes, and a gift shop. The overall culture of Üsküdar is one of hospitality and generosity, deeply rooted in the religious and historical roots of the area. Topkapı Palace. This palace served as the primary residence of the Ottoman royal family and administrative seat of the Ottoman Empire for almost 400 years, and in effect, the most powerful place in the world for centuries when the Ottomans were at their political and military peak. Commissioned by Sultan Mehmed II a few years after the conquest, this palace was originally called Saray-i Jadid-i Amire, or the New Imperial Palace, before it was later changed in the 18th century to its current name. Unlike late-era Ottoman palaces, Topkapı Palace's architecture and style is more unique, with smaller pavilions surrounded by gardens and open spaces. The palace was converted into a museum in 1924. In addition to displaying all its beauty and grandeur, it also has a section that exclusively houses some of the relics of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family and companions. The palace is immediately behind the Hagia Sophia, so if you're in the area, be sure to budget a couple hours to visit it. Hagia Sophia. This one might seem obvious as the number one spot, but it cannot be stressed enough. The Hagia Sophia is the crown jewel of Istanbul, and it is one of the oldest and largest monuments in Istanbul and all of Turkey. Built by the Byzantines in 537 AD, it served as the church of the Eastern Roman Empire for almost 1,000 years until it was converted into the Imperial Mosque following the conquest of Constantinople. It served as the Imperial Mosque until 1931, after which it was closed and converted into a museum in 1934. In 2020, the Turkish government reverted it back to a mosque. Because the mosque was placed under an endowment of Sultan Mehmed II, who decreed it to be a mosque, it was ruled that converting it into a museum violated Ottoman and Turkish law. Hagia Sophia became the framework and inspiration by which many Ottoman mosques followed, especially those built by the famed architect Mimar Sinan. Directly across from it is the Blue Mosque, which reopened in 2023 after nearly 5 years of restoration work. Although this area can be flooded with tourists during the high season, visiting this area with its rich historical sites is a must. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.